Post it. There's plenty of
Going
minutes.
now.
Oh, it is. Perfect.
Step authentication.
There's plenty of minutes. Oh, it is. Perfect.
No, you're okay.
Okay, so we're good to go, Jason?
Yeah.
All right. Apologies for those that are watching online, but we should be good to go now. The first meeting, tonight's board meeting is actually two meetings. The first meeting that was called to order is our organizational meeting that we hold every year in the first meeting in January. So 3.0 is roll call of school board members. All members are present. So 4.0 is election of officers, something that we do yearly. We'll follow parliamentary procedure rules. I'll start as the chair right now, and I'll ask for 3 nominations for chair, and then we'll go through officers. Go from there. So 4.1 is the election of the board chair. Last year I was the board chair, so right now I will entertain nominations for board chair.
I nominate Brandon Baseflug for board chair.
Second call for nominations. Third and final call for nominations. All right. With that being said, I need somebody to, well, I'll cease the nominations, and guess I need an approval or a motion to move forward as a white ballot.
I'll make a motion to white ballot the board chair.
I'll second.
Questions or discussion? All those in favor of white ballot, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right. Well, thanks, everybody. So I will continue to move forward. 4.2 is the election of the board vice chair. Last year, Matt was the vice chair, so I will open up nominations for the vice chair.
I'll move to nominate Matt Voss.
Second nomination for vice chair. Third nomination for vice chair. All right, nominations are ceased. I will move to cast a white ballot.
Second.
All right, guess we don't have discussion with white ballots. So all those in favor signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Welcome back, Matt.
Thank you.
Election of the board clerk. Last year, Lindsay was the board clerk. We did things a little bit different. So we have the elected board clerk, and then Nancy's kind of, what do we want to call that? Assistant board clerk, or she does a lot of the administrative stuff. We certainly, I feel we need to stay that way. So first thing that I'll do is I'll open up nominations for board clerk.
I'll nominate Lindsay King for board clerk.
Call for second nomination of board clerk. Third and final call. All right. Entertain a motion for a white ballot.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. 4.0 is the election of the board treasurer. Eric's been the treasurer for quite some time now, and we will open up nominations for treasurer, and I will nominate Eric. I guess I never asked you if you wanted to do it, but I'm going to nominate you. Second nomination for treasurer. Third nomination for treasurer. All right, nominations cease. I'll entertain a motion for a white belt.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. 5.0 is the designation of official depositories. So I'm going to move to designate the school district official depositories for 2022 as follows. U.S. Bank of East Grand Forks, Branson Bank and Trust, MSD LAF, Ultima Bank, and TD Ameritrade.
I'll second.
Questions or discussion? All right. All those in favor of approving the designation of official depository signify by stating aye.
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 Anybody opposed? Motion carries. 6.0 is designate legal counsel. past several years, we've been using Rupp, Anderson, Squires, and Waldsberger as our district's counsel. So I'm going to move that we continue to utilize them as our legal counsel for 2022.
I'll second.
Questions or discussion? All those in favor of approving Rupp, Anderson, Squires, Waldsberger as our legal counsel signify by stating aye.
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 Anybody opposed? Motion carries. 7.0 is to designate the official newspaper. We've been using the Exponent several years as the one and only newspaper in East Grand Forks is our official newspaper. So I need a motion to continue utilizing them.
So moved.
I'll second.
Questions, discussion? All those in favor of approving the Exponent as the district's official newspaper signify by stating aye.
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 Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Okay, so now is signature authorizations. Somebody can move and, no, you guys don't have it in front of you, do you?
No.
Mm-mm.
All right, I'm gonna move the delegated district employees be authorized to sign for the following specific accounts. K-12 petty cash is gonna be treasurer Eric Useldinger, Michael Colness, Amanda Scanson, and Carla Afshari. K-12 transfers from saving accounts to checking accounts and payment of payroll is gonna be Eric Useldinger, Michael Colness, Amanda Scanson, Carla Afshari. K-12 transfers from the savings accounts, same wording. K-12 CDs treasure, K-12 CDs, same wording. K-12 activity account is the same wording, which is Eric Useldinger, Michael Colness, Amanda Scanson, and Carla Afshari.
Did you move?
I did.
I'll second that.
Questions or discussion? Did I miss any of them? All those in favor of designating the signature authorization signify by stating aye.
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 Anybody opposed? Motion carries. All right, 9.0 is to establish school board meeting times and dates. We have a suggested meeting times and dates that are on here. A couple of us have talked and I'm off. Hear me. We've talked and we do 2 meetings a month. I think it's just been how the district has done it for many years. There's more than 2 meetings a month, but we've been doing just 2 official school board meetings, but lots of committee meetings. So before even making a motion, I'd like to have that discussion. I know we're kind of going backwards. I don't have anything to motion right now. What I'd like to see is, from the chair's perspective, is like every other month. So January, this would be our meeting. February, we would have 1 meeting, but a potential for 2. So every other month would be a potential for 2. That would be like your second meeting would be a work session if needed, or special meetings could be called. So I don't know, Mike, any input?
Yeah, there was a survey that was shared with all of you regarding compensation and also meeting dates, and you can see that many of the districts in the area meet 1 time a month. There are some districts who would have 1 regular board meeting a month, and then they might have a work session, and they designate, a specific evening just to reserve that, and they would only have the work session if needed. I came from a district before this that we met 1 time a month, but then we would meet if needed. If you need to have a special meeting for something. Right now, we're able to get our financial reports and everything in, prior to that first meeting of the month. So most of the time, there's not a whole lot of business on that second meeting. So I would be comfortable with having 1 regular meeting a month and then also having some reserved dates for work sessions.
Okay, so do it. From your perspective, Mike, do we have to, we don't necessarily have to set the official schedule tonight. We could table this, correct?
Well, you could, but it'd be nice to set at least 1 meeting a month.
Okay.
If you like.
I would say we
Yeah.
do that,
Yeah.
do the 1 meeting a month and then.
And the reason I want to do that is I wasn't here for the December meeting, but the last meeting in November stated some different policies and things that I want to look at or want the board to look at. And one of them is citizens' comments, and maybe those citizens' comments, I'm just saying, maybe that happens at a work session type thing we can look at. So I guess I would make the motion for 1 meeting a month. which every other month being a potential of 2.
So every other month would have the potential for that work session?
Yeah.
Okay.
Would we want to do that or just open it up for every month with the potential?
Just save the date.
I would say,
Keep
yeah.
it simple.
Keep it
Well, we
simple.
can always, okay.
Keep it
Yeah.
simple,
Keep
yeah.
it simple.
Yeah.
So the
So
Not
would
make
it be
happen.
the second Monday of each month?
will be the official meeting, right?
I
And
mean,
then the fourth Monday would be
Potential.
Work session.
Potential.
work session, yeah, if needed.
so basically keep it the way it is.
The second meeting.
The second meeting is at the discretion of,
Second one, the way it sounds, the second meeting would be reserved for work sessions if needed.
If needed. Yep.
Yep.
all right, so I'm gonna go back and as you're taking notes out there, I'm gonna move for the schedule of the 2022 school board meetings to be at 5:30. Everyone's still okay with 5:30 on the Mondays?
Yep.
If somebody wants
Second
something else, say your piece now. Okay, because we don't have to go on Monday. It's just the first organizational meeting. As state statute says that, so. So I will move to schedule a required of one a month on the first Monday of every month and.
Second
Monday.
or excuse me, second Monday of every month, fourth Monday of every month would be, however you want to word that.
Reserved for work
Optional work
session.
Reserved for optional work sessions. And then we have the ability to call the special meetings in between there, as
Sure.
we've always done.
I would second that.
Yeah.
That was a lot, but it
It
makes
was- sorry, I
sense.
think that
Shouldn't have
was-
been a lot. I should just started from the beginning. Okay, any questions or discussion on that? All those in favor signify by stating aye.
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 Anybody opposed? All right, motion carries. Okay, 10.0 is to establish school board compensation. As Superintendent Colness spoke of, we sent the survey as we surveyed local districts around East Grand Forks on the Minnesota side when it comes to meeting times, compensation committees, et cetera. So but we need to set the rate per month. Or have a conversation on it.
I think we had talked a little bit, instead of doing it by committee meeting, it'd be a lot easier administratively if we just did a blanket increase. We didn't take one last year. We took one the year prior, correct? So,
I can't remember if it was 2 or 3 years ago,
I think it was
we
2 years.
increased
It was
it.
right when I started,
Yeah,
right.
or when
So,
we started.
and after reviewing our neighboring districts, we are a little bit behind. So I'd make a motion for $1,000 per year increase.
I'll second it. Okay, questions or discussion? Any questions on that survey? I think I'm certainly in agreement with Matt as I read that. Quite a few districts compensate, and it's not that, we know we're not up here for the money yet, but quite a few districts compensate on committee meetings and different meetings, and general public may not know, but we all know up here that we're all in at least one meeting, sometimes more than one meeting a week, whether it's with the different groups. So
That'd be a lot to keep track of.
It would be, yeah.
So
be a lot smoother. So any other discussion on compensation? Right, all those in favor of $1,000 increase signify by stating aye.
I,
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Okay, 11.0 is to establish committee assignments in a Minnesota State High School League representative. I also sent that out and asked if anybody wanted to change up any assignments. So now's your time to speak.
well, first off, Tom is still the Minnesota State High School, right?
Yeah.
No. We'll do that again.
Yeah, I'm good with all I had. I don't have a school that assigned to me if somebody wants to get off of one of their schools, so this year I can sure.
Do you want to explain, everybody kind of knows what the other committees are, Tom, but the high school league, what that entails?
Well, there hasn't really been much involvement with it. You kind of, I think that Mike you know, a little bit more, maybe more just being on the high school league before.
Yeah, there are times when the information might come out from the league, or they might ask for the board representative to vote on a certain issue. So then we
Yeah.
would have to have that board member, you know,
Yeah,
send in
there's
the
been a
ballot.
Couple votes. over
It doesn't happen very often, but basically we just stay connected with the league.
All right, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go through the committees real quick. Insurances and benefits, anybody want to change?
Now, we've kind of kept that in salary together.
Yeah. So salary, anybody want to change? If anybody wants negotiations or wants to get involved in it, now's the time. I'm not saying I'll step down, but I certainly would allow if somebody else wanted to do it. Okay. Hearing none. If indeed somebody wants to sit in on those though, just let us know. You know, as we do three in each committee. So I'll just use Lynn, you as an example. If you wanted to see what the negotiation one, just let me know and I'll sit back. We don't always get three there. So we can have, if somebody wants to see what it's all about. Policy review. Lynn, Matt and Tom are okay with that?
Mhm.
No, fine.
Okay, meet and confer.
Yeah, I'm fine. If
Yeah,
so.
I'm good there.
Mhm.
School calendar,
Yeah, I'm good.
Good.
transportation,
Yeah.
okay, long-term facilities.
I could jump off that one if anybody wants.
I'll take it.
Right,
So long-term facilities is now going to be
gotta have one change, you know.
Yeah.
Sure.
King, and Useldinger. Okay. Foundation. If somebody wants to sit on there, I would certainly switch. They do have monthly meetings. We're kind of, we're non-voting members. We're just there to help give insight and direction if needed. So if somebody
When do
wants-
they meet? Or
When do we
when
meet?
It's,
Kind of sporadically, isn't it? I think it's actually got a date, but
Yeah,
it
it-
depends when people are available.
it's normally once every month on a
Okay,
Wednesday.
on a Wednesday during the day or in the
Yeah,
evening?
at 4:30,
Oh,
right
okay.
here.
That's not a, I was gonna say I'd pop on there, but that's not a good time for me.
Well, we can use that one. I'll stay on then but if you want to,
Sure.
want to try it or something along those lines or come to the meeting, certainly.
Okay.
Okay. So we did the adopt the schools. South Point was Lynn. Lynn, you
Mhm.
still want to keep South Point?
Sure.
Okay. Lindsay had New Heights.
Yeah.
Okay. Middle school is use.
I could stay on there.
Okay. Matt, high school.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Finance committee, I don't know why we keep this on here. It's always been a committee as a whole, so that's not changing. World best workforce has been Lynn and, well, let's see, Lynn and Tom. Want to keep that the same?
Sure.
Yep.
Safety committee?
I'm fine.
I'm fine staying on there.
Yeah, I'm good.
K-12 relicensure?
That's me. It looks like, yeah.
Is that,
I don't know that one.
do we need more than that? We only have one. Okay. School city liaisons. You know, essentially, we're all school city liaisons, but I think we'll just keep it how it is. High school league, Tom, you're good with it?
Yep.
And then I'll continue to do the legislative one unless anybody else wants to do it, but I get most of those emails from the different chairs and the different legislative stuff, so. Okay, I'm not reading that again.
Matt, did you get everything?
All right,
It was
We're
like
good.
A lot of changes there.
so somebody, that'd be considered a motion?
I'll second it.
All right, any more discussion? All right, all those in favor of the changes of the committee assignment signify by stating aye.
Hi.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. 12.0 is to adjourn the organizational meeting.
So moved.
I'll second.
Questions or discussion? Organizational meeting is adjourned. Now is to order the regular meeting. So we're gonna just flow right into 14.0, which is communications and reports. 14.1 is an enrollment update. So Superintendent Coolness. floor is
Yeah,
yours.
won't take too long. We did have an adjustment by one student. We dropped one. However, I would just make note that we did have a couple of families that moved away and some with quite a few kids. Our EL numbers are starting to drop a little bit, so that'll probably be reflected in the next report. But from last month to this month, we did lose one student. So hopefully we have some families move in. But that's all I have for enrollment right now.
Finance 14.2 is finance update. Amanda.
All right, I just have a couple items. In the general fund, I was just gonna note on our federal revenue line. It's quite a bit down from last year, and that's mainly due to some grants last year that we don't have this year. However, we do have a plethora of grants this year. We had a grant meeting today, so we're talking through some of that, making sure we're getting everything in the right grant bucket based off of what we can use those funds on before we start drawing on them and committing to that. So just want to make sure we're using the money in the best possible way. So I think we're set on a lot of those. So hopefully next month we'll see a lot of those funds being drawn down. On the expenditure side, the only thing I had noted is in the supplies line item, it's quite a bit. We've used up quite a bit of the budget. However, about 129,000 of that is COVID grant type expenses. So if we back that off, we're kind of more in line with our supplies line item as we have been in the past. On the smaller funds, I just had two notes. In the food service fund, it's in a deficit. However, that's where we were in the prior year. And a lot of that is just timing. So the November meal reimbursements weren't received until just a couple days ago. So they're not reflected in here. So November and December meal counts are not collected as of when this was printed as of December 31st. So with those, then it would kind of turn itself around and we would be, I didn't calculate the numbers, but we would be above, we would not be in a negative there. And then of the construction fund, it shows us a huge amount lost, but obviously we don't have any revenue at the moment. We're just paying our bills. So we have about 1.4 million left in cash to pay the remaining portion of the construction debt. But we're just paying them as they come due and things are going a little bit slower at the moment. So, and then on the treasurer's report, I just have two notes. You'll see a large adjustment in the building construction fund, and that's just me moving money between the TD Ameritrade account and the investments. And currently we're using those funds to pay our regular bills as the investments have come due. So we're just using those as they come due. And then the debt service fund has quite a bit of cash, but we do have a bond payment that is scheduled during January. So we'll see that amount go down quite a bit next month. Overall, our cash position from current year to prior year is pretty similar. However, I guess I didn't notice, but our expenditures are up a little bit in the general fund as to where they've been in the past. So that's something we're kind of monitoring. But some of those are COVID related expenditures.
Yeah, part of those increases, I mean, of course, we had salary increases this year, but we also have more staff. We've adjusted, trying to add positions to help and use our ESSER funds and backfill there. So and we also haven't drawn down probably as much of our federal funds as we have some money sitting out there that we're waiting to draw down.
Yes.
Yeah.
Questions on the finance report? Finance update? Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, 14.3 is administration department head reports. Bounce back to you, Superintendent Coolness, and go with the COVID-19 update.
Yeah, just the incident command team did meet last Friday. We were back in session, and one of the of course, we were monitoring our absences, and we had that uptick there right before Christmas, and we were able to thank goodness, get back in in-person instruction for the last few days before the break. But we're seeing a growing number right now of COVID cases. So we, I provided some information to you there that we have right now roughly about 23 active COVID cases in the district. But our other, the illnesses that we had before Christmas were, there were small COVID numbers and a lot of, influenza A. So we're not seeing as much there. But Christy and the team, Christy and Christy, they're continuing to be busy, and we'll just continue to update you as far as absences go. One of the discussions we did have at the incident command team meeting was the new guidance that came out from the CDC about the 5-day quarantine. I'm sure people have seen that in the news. And right now, we have not received any updated guidance regarding that from the Department of Health or from the Department of Ed. We're really waiting to see what they have to say about that. We would probably make adjustments, but we want to hear what they have to say before making that final call as far as adjusting our quarantine and isolation guidance to go along with the CDC. But we want to see what the Department of Health and the Department of Ed recommend first. So
When do you think you're gonna hear?
we're hoping, it sounds like we might have something by the end of this week. So I was hoping it would be sooner, but it seems to be going at kind of a snail's pace, to be honest. But we'll see what happens here. I don't know if there'll be an agreement with that the guidance from the CDC, and our board can, you can make the decision to go the direction you want to. But right now, we still have our, the quarantine and isolation guidance that we've been following since before Christmas. So.
So it'd be fair to say, Lindsay, that by this Friday, you guys will be able to either have an answer or make a decision if you wanted to follow that, or at least speak of that at the incident command team. So-
Yeah, and Christy Carlson was gone last week, so I did ask both of the Christies today to go through that, to look it over thoroughly, to see, how difficult it would be, or if they saw some issues that if we did implement that, that it would cause for the district. So they're going through that right now.
For the rest of you, if you remember, back when we put it all together, they have the latitude that if they do change that, we can.
Right, yep.
Use your discretion and the rest of those members, and if the change needs to be made, make a change.
So that's what I have regarding the incident command team. Just so you know, the revised budget for fiscal year 22, we will be working on that. Carla and Amanda, they're probably working on it right now back there. No, but we'll be working on that. And our goal will be to bring a revised budget probably early in the month of February to the board. And we'll see. We had, our enrollment numbers, we're getting a handle on that. We want to see how much they drop off before bringing something forward. The OSHA or the ETS, today was really the day that we needed to have some things in place regarding the temporary standard per federal and state regulations. So the staff has been great. A lot of them have already submitted all of their vaccination information. We are putting that all into our records, so we have everything documented. People who are not fully vaccinated, who are not within that 90-day window of being positive for COVID, will be required to wear face coverings to work. There is a second component, the testing component, that does not have to be in place till February 9th. So right now, the policy that we're recommending you adopt doesn't have that in there. We want to see, first of all, how many people will that be, will we have to test? And that could have an impact on the type of testing we provide, but we would like to do that in-house if possible. So just wanted to keep you updated. It's also in the Supreme Court right now. So MSBA advised us to go slow. They did not want us to go out there and cause a disruption if it was not necessary. There are some people who do not believe in this, but right now we don't really have a choice. There are some pretty hefty fines that they've, if you read through the information, you're talking around $14,000 per violation, and we would really prefer not to have any kind of OSHA violations here. So we'll do what we need to do to put that in place. Are there any questions on that part? Or we can talk about it later too when the policy comes up for adoption. And last but not least, I'm recommending tonight that we advertise for 2 principal intern positions. Those positions, the job description was provided. It's in board book. We would advertise, it would be for the remainder of the 21-22 school year. The positions, we would hope if we had some solid candidates, we would locate them in each of the elementary buildings. They would also be very focused on the extended learning time for whether it be after school, summertime, we'll be using part of that 20% of the ESSER funds that are required for learning loss. We would be having those people focus on that. Right now, it's hard to plan because we just don't have, everybody's busy. I know Chad has a lot of free time at South Point, but just kidding, Chad. But everybody's busy, and right now we don't have the staff to put those things in place. And we need somebody that can help coordinate that. So that is the intent with those positions.
When do you hope to have these filled?
Well, it would be nice to have them here for the second semester, but you know what, when they become available, it could be that if we had an internal candidate, we would have, if it wasn't, let's just say hypothetically, it was a teacher. All right, that applied, has aspirations of moving into some type of administrative role in the future. We would have to make sure we have a suitable replacement for that person before moving forward. And I'd just like to throw out a thank you we have several staff members who have been helping out with the food service program. Several of them are in here right now, Amanda and Carla and Soraya and Jason and all kinds of Nancy and other office staff members that have helped out. You know, we're a little short right now as far as leadership in that area, just due to unusual circumstances, but I'd like to thank them for all of their efforts because they're doing a great job. So appreciate it.
Mike, so you want to see, you just want our blessing, or do you want to see?
I'd like to see you take action tonight to approve those positions so we can advertise them and we get them going for external and internal candidates as soon as possible.
All right.
So just one more thing on the this is just through the end of the year then?
Correct. It's 21-22 school year. They would be classified as a teacher on special assignment. It would not be an administrative contract.
Okay.
But it would have extension into the summer, probably a minimum of 30 days. So that does make it enticing as far as financially. It would be, you know, it's a great opportunity for people who are looking to potentially move into some type of leadership role in the future.
Any other questions for superintendent? Otherwise, hearing none, we'll move to 14.4, and you've already given us an incident command report, and we've had no maybe since the last meeting, unless there's something that you'd like to share, Mike.
Nope, nothing else.
All right. Let's move on to the consent agenda. Need somebody to motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
I'll move.
Or I'll second.
Questions or discussion, or is nobody wants anything pulled? All right, all those in favor of approving the consent agenda signify by stating aye.
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 Anybody opposed? Motion carries. 16.0 is opportunities for citizens to speak. We didn't get any today. So 17.0 is to approve the agenda. So I'm going to move to approve the agenda as presented with the addition of 18.4, the advertisement for administrative interns.
I'll second.
Questions or discussion on the agenda? All those in favor of approving the agenda with the addition of 18.4 signify by stating aye.
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 Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Okay, 18.1 is 18.0 is district business. 18.1 is policy 491 adoption. That's the OSHA COVID-19 emergency temporary standard. The superintendent just spoke of it. We got to do it. It's at the Supreme Court right now, but it has to be. Unfortunately, however we feel about it or don't feel about it, as of right now, it's the law. So we have to do it. So I'm going to move to approve the policy.
I'll second.
Questions or discussion? I guess my only thing would be that if the Supreme Court has a stay on it or decides that they want to take different action, what Mike and I have been getting is we get the email immediately from MSBA and from our attorneys. So we'll just follow suit with whatever we're really told to do.
Yeah, and there were two samples that came out from MSBA. One was policy 490, which did not allow for the testing or masking option. It was either be vaccinated or not work. And we didn't feel that was appropriate for our district. So 491 is the one that offers those options for staff members.
Did I get a second on that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All those in favor of approving signify by stating aye.
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 Anybody opposed? Motion carries. 18.2 is the pay equity report. That's uploaded in the board book. So I just need
And Amanda, if you have anything you'd like to provide as far as input, the report's pretty self-explanatory, but Amanda's the one that submits that every year. So
If you have any questions.
I'll make a motion to approve. Is that what you're looking for?
Mhm.
I'll second.
Questions or discussion on the pay equity report? All those in favor of accepting it, signify by stating aye.
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 Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Let's see, 18.3 is going to be accept donations to the school district. Absent tonight, so if somebody would be so kind to make a motion and read those out.
I'll make the motion to accept the donations to the East Grand Forks Public Schools. Donation from Tammy Seiler to girls soccer supplies, $100. EGF Education Foundation to senior high for safety equipment, $996.15. EGF Education Foundation to South Point Mental Health for $500. EGF Education Foundation to senior high lab supplies, $997.48. EGF Education Foundation to senior high for a microphone system for $1,000. EGF Education Foundation, senior high for books of $1,000. EGF Education Foundation to South Point to Rube Goldberg for $1,108.65. And then Northwest Minnesota Arts Council to senior high for microphone system, $3,000. And then the last one is from the Grand Cities Lacrosse Club to Central Middle School for equipment of $1,400. Total donations is $10,100, $102.28. Thank you to all of those.
Second.
Discussion again, thank you to all those individuals and certainly the foundation. These are the ones that we sat through last meeting, so very nice. Thank you to all those. So all those in favor of approving the donation signify or accepting the donation signify by stating aye.
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 Anybody opposed? Motion carries. 19.0 is payment of claims and accounts. We have to pay the bills. Thank you. That's why you're there. Okay, never mind. Okay, we're not to 19 yet. We added 18.4 to advertise for administrative intern. So I'm going to make the motion for the superintendent and administrative staff to begin advertising for 2 administrative intern positions.
I'll second.
Questions or discussion? All those in favor signify by stating aye.
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 Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Thank you for saving us. 19.0, now we need to pay the bills. It was uploaded in the board book and had an opportunity to review. I'll entertain a motion to pay the bills.
I'll move to approve the payment of K-12 bills 122136 through 122271 and electronic fund transfers in the amount of $1,088,838.84.
Second.
Questions or discussion on bills that are uploaded? All those in favor signify by stating aye.
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 Anybody opposed? Motion carries. So 20.0 is board member comments. Start Lynn,
I don't have anything tonight. Thank you.
Lindsay,
Yeah, no comments from me.
Nope, nothing right now.
Tom.
I'm good.
Nope.
All right, and I have none either. So now we're going to move on to 21.0, which is the next meeting of the Board of Education. So it's scheduled for January 24th, but that's actually going to be our optional one. So we will, or I should say optional, but potential one if needed. So I think we'll just adjust and I'll say there's a potential for a meeting on January 24th. If not, our next official meeting is February 14th. And
You need a second?
no, not for that. I need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All right, questions or discussion on adjournment? All right, all those in favor of adjourning signify by stating aye.
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 Meeting's adjourned. Thank you, everybody.